Donald Trump short-circuited over a basic question. He's now talking about a slit, a huge slit. What the hell is wrong with this guy? And of course, his brain is failing once again. There was I hesitate to call these press conferences. They're not press conferences, but it's sort of like Trump sitting in the Oval Office. It's got to be between 12 and 5. That's basically Trump's schedule right now. And sometimes it's even more limited than that. And he is asked questions. And one of the questions Trump was asked is, listen, this whole reflecting pool stuff isn't going very well. We've got algae. The liner is peeling off. Are the contractors to blame? And of course, Trump goes, no, no, no. There was vandalism. There was a big slit. Dear God, Trump unleashing the slit from hell.
Are the contractors who did the initial work with the reflecting pool, are they to blame for the current condition, or is it the vandals?
We had vandalism. No, vandals. You know, we have I think 290, 300-foot slit right through it, probably a box cutter or a knife of some kind. Or we had people lifting up the basic, it's not a lot of damage, but we'll probably have to let the water out. And
now, this becomes a classic Trump dementia rant where he's just barely making sense.
Refix it. They went in there with a knife. I was just told by the people over at Parks, they have 5 people are arrested and 5 people are under investigation right now. And it's a sad thing. In addition to that, we put brand new, beautiful grass all around. They put these massive letters on the grass. You probably know about that, right? And they said 8647. They probably got that from the dirty cop, Comey. You know he's a dirty cop, don't you? Dirty cop. He's a crooked guy. They destroyed the grass. So that's a big thing. But
it's a really, really big thing. Now, there is one problem with this entire theory of the biggest slit anyone's ever seen. The whole thing is under camera surveillance 24 hours a day. And just as a reminder, Donald Trump specifically addressed the possibility that someone could take a knife to the reflecting pool. And he last month said, this thing is so strong. A box cutter, a knife, that's not going to be able to do anything. And now Trump is claiming that surreptitiously, despite 24-hour surveillance, someone put a 300-foot slit with a knife in the thing.
This will last for at least 50 years, and you'll never have a leak. It's very strong. You couldn't, if you had a knife, I don't want to give anybody ideas. If you had a knife, you can't even cut it. So strong, so powerful. It's like powerful rubber. It is beautiful, sealed.
Trump doesn't want to get a slit in his rubber. That could really cause problems for him.
And I looked at just one of the little pieces that they did to finish. It's like a piece of glass, beautiful color, beautiful everything. You could never get anything like that.
No slits, no holes, no nothing. Meanwhile, could we maybe blame Joe Biden? Not this particular time. So I know. Who does Trump try to blame? Barack Hussein Obama. You know the guy.
Obama.
I'm not kidding. He says the press isn't addressing the fact that under Obama, things were destroyed. And it was really bad.
Part of what's curious about this situation is we stood here with you in April when you first revealed the plans.
I said what?
In April, you showed us pictures of what you were going to do at the pool, and you said you had a guy who was going to do it in a week for about $1 million.
Well,
it's been 2 months for $16.5 million.
Yeah, okay, ready? Barack Hussein Obama. Have you ever heard of him?
Yeah.
It's the answer to everything, isn't it?
Obama. He spent 2 years and over $100 million on trying to fix it. You know what happened to it? Never even opened.
Right.
He took the water from the river. You know about that, right? It turned out to be putrid, and it destroyed the whole thing. Spent over
It's putrid. This guy is out of his mind. He really is.
$100 million. Him and Biden together spent $147 million. You know what happened? Never opened. You don't mention that, right?
But
we spent about 10. Much of the money we spent are park workers. They're there whether they do this or not, as you know. They work in the park, and they're very good workers. They did a great job. So they were going to spend $300 to $400 million. You know that. And it was going to take 4 years.
And I spent
about 6, 7 weeks, and I spent probably, in terms of outside, probably $10 million, around 10 million. They say 16, but a lot of that is workers that work for the same thing. So they were going to spend 400 million.
Anyway, I think you get the point. It would be great to blame his immediate predecessor, Joe Biden, but if you can't, not a problem. We've got another white guy we can blame, and his name, Barack Hussein Obama. Ever heard of him? Now, I do want to announce, by the way, I have an announcement to make. Trump's making announcements all the time. I get to make an announcement every once in a while. I am announcing my new summer wardrobe collection, my reflecting pool collection, which we're putting up on the screen. We have shirts that say American flag blue, but as you can see, the color of the shirt is green like algae, but it says, hey, this is American flag blue. And then we also have the MAGA style hat in algae green, and it says, make algae great again, which I love. I love these things. I ordered my hat yesterday. I hope to wear it on the show soon. Now, a couple other just kind of dystopian Kafka-esque moments from this conversation, I guess, of sorts that Donald Trump had with members of the press. Secretary Wright, Energy Secretary, who we're going to hear from later on the issue of gas prices. Secretary Wright tries to tell some kind of story about Albert Einstein. And as he kind of fumbles the story, Trump just goes, nobody cares. And you know what? What Trump means is, I don't care. And we know he doesn't.
Chris Wright, please.
Yes, thank you, Mr. President. So 141 years ago, Albert Einstein, 121 years ago, Albert Einstein published a paper on...
Nobody cares.
Good point.
I never go back. And usually they won't catch you. Go.
Good point. Nobody gives a damn, and Trump certainly doesn't give a damn about your story. And then finally, there always must be shadowy actors, a conspiracy, sabotage, to quote William Shatner. They did something to create the algae. We've got to look at Antifa. Take a listen.
Somebody said fertilizer in the water. If you put fertilizer in the water, you get algae. But somebody said they might have put fertilizer. They did something to create the algae, but that doesn't matter because that's been purified.
It can't just have been a screw up by Trump. It can't have been a miscalculation that you were fixing a problem that doesn't really exist and now you look really stupid. It had to have been. If it's Biden, that's great. If it's Barack Obama, even better. If it's a vandal, which the 24-hour surveillance cameras simply weren't able to find on video, that's great. If it created a slit with a box cutter, and if somebody did something to encourage the growth of algae, that is far, far better than any of the real explanations. Is anybody falling for this crap? I don't think so. Thanks for watching. Check out this other video. And if you like our content, make sure to subscribe so YouTube puts our videos in your feed, and subscribe to the podcast on Spotify and Apple.